right?
I mean, if they hook it up to a robot and I kick with the N64 Blitz meter.
You're the only one. You're the only one that can make those kicks. It's just going like this. It's the stupidest meter of all time.
I'm sure the Cowboys we'll chance it with him versus Mary.
We should have played around when y'all were here Saturday. We should have played around, Brant, with the same 4 people that were playing. Just because of lack of. Have you played any Blitz in the past? Oh, that's perfect.
No.
Renee played one game and I pulled him to victory over Cesar and Russell. I drug him to victory with the worst team in the league.
I didn't get that.
I mean, I'm sorry. I was one of the better teams. They had the worst team in the league.
We had the worst team in the league and almost won it, so thank you very much.
Y'all still almost beat us. That would have been a good time. Yeah, I had to plug in. I got that go live notification. Oh, shit. It still says Callisto Protocol. How do I fucking change that? That was a good stream, Cesar, by the way, what I could watch. Edit settings.
The protocols of the
there it is. I see it.
I'm almost done with it, too.
I wonder if I can change it mid. So do you think you'll keep your Gamefly thing?
I will for now, since I got Forspoken and
I changed
Dead
it.
Space started being shipped to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll need a quick turnaround then.
Yeah, they just shipped to me, so I was like,
all right, y'all remind me next time I freak out, I can just go in restream and change the stream name or title.
Yeah.
I'll freak out at some point, I'm sure.
Somebody keeps dropping stuff in my my Google Drive, and it's super inappropriate from Lisa23.
They're just sending you stuff?
Hello, man. You want to fucking call me. Here's my recent upload pictures and see all my details from here. There's no requirement to have any credit cards, so I think we both are safe. My 100% real please contact me here. Blah, 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 Craigslist. It's safe and legitimate, you know. You can trust me if there's any asking for CCU. I don't know, man. They just keep dropping in my Google Drive. I gotta go in here and keep locking.
I accidentally, I've noticed, I'll go in ours when I'm trying to pull the show notes, and I have opened some document in there, but I don't think it's anything top secret. I think the book that I signed the agreement for, I think is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cameo for Russell for the wedding, Brent, you should watch that while it's in there. I think it's in there. I think I accidentally opened that one too.
Hello, insert name here.
Oh, our Indianapolis food list. That could be useful later.
Oh my god. It's not on this one. This pisses me off.
Here's Renee's listener submission from Days Gone.
You still upset about it?
Yeah, this is definitely Renee. For my cousin Cesar, it sounded like he haven't completed his mission, which why he's in a repeat situation. I would put more hours in it. Renee, you were a fan of Days Gone? I don't remember this. I don't remember this bit. All right. That game's at halftime, right? I might have to pull that up later on.
I gotta look it up at the very top. I can let you know when it's back on if you want.
I got on my top TV, my top monitor.
This laptop is struggling to do all 5 monitors here, but
really through your hub?
It's laggy, but it's doing it. Yeah. Yes.
That's impressive as hell. It's like a Ryzen 5 from 5 years ago.
Yeah, one of these monitors is a 34-inch widescrreen, and a 27-inch, and 2 24s, and a 27.
Yeah, I would say that's doing a great job.
Is this laggy?
Jesus.
Okay,
I missed my desktop.
Yeah, I could see that. Your camera's bouncing around. I'm not sure what's doing. What's happening? You're not even moving. Usually it's just when somebody moves the camera bogs out. Brandon, everything good with you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready to rock? I want to rock.
We'll see here. I don't think I have any of my Google Drive stuff saved, so I'm trying to log in here to look at the news, but it's a nightmare.
Alright. Pull that up.
I'm trying to. I don't have the password and shit saved in this computer. That's the problem. I'm trying to.
I'm ready to authenticate.
Oh, Brand's standing by.
I don't even have the. I don't even have the authenticate. The credentials authenticate. It's the problem. I'm looking through my emails and stuff like that. I want the password sent to me. Oh, that will save to my desktop. So
I'll just put it in our group or the Twitch chat here. You know the email, right?
yes. Just trying to find it and see if I could have sworn I saved it in one of these damn devices. But alas, that one's with me.
Pretty sure that's it. It's one of those things like when I'm typing on a real keyboard, I know it. Because you came up with it for us.
It's so similar password conventions I use on everything else. It's lost in the shovel.
Mm-hmm.
I've graduated to the point where I use 20-digit passwords now because it works. So
Yuck.
get used to it.
What's the number, Cesar?
Rokuju go.
2469.
And Brent knows his Japanese numbers. There we go. Well
He's
done,
in.
Brent.
Hackers. Welcome to Hackers. The sequel to We're Quackers.
Time to
Hacking time.
I think that wasn't that movie, wasn't it? Didn't they say
Time
that?
to hack?
I
Or
believe
Quackers?
so. It was something. Why would Quackers be in there? Time to hack is something they would say in there.
Hackers, I don't know.
I'm looking now. Oh, I don't know if the computer can handle all this.
don't push it. Don't
85
push it,
minutes.
Cesar.
It's like. I mean, I'm getting TV delay on my own feed right here when I look at myself because I move up this and I'm like still like this.
He's gonna kill two computers.
I don't know.
in 1 week.
You sound better than you ever have in months. So I'm happy with the change. Something was off on that other one.
Nah, it's too much work. I tried.
You good?
I'm ready whenever you are. I'm watching the Cowboys blowing it real big live.
Blowing it real big.
Being narrated by Greg Olson and Kevin Burkhardt.
I must have clicked one of Gamatsu's ads. I've got like a t-shirt ad at the very end of the... Alright, I only have 4 news stories.
There's 5.
That's what I'm saying. I only have
5.
4 pulled up for some reason. I think it switched over to the...
Oh.
Yeah, I think that Stadia thing. I think I clicked a t-shirt ad.
We need context, man.
There's also 10
Context,
lazy
man.
ways to get rent money down at the bottom from Joy Wallet.
The first thing I did was install my VPN, so all this shit is blocked.
That's good.
Stuff, so. I just see words for the article and then Xbox logo. That's it. In Starfield video.
That works.
It's the only 2 things on my page. VPN. Brant, make sure you watch Summertime Rendering. It's on Hulu now.
Summertime Rendering.
Yeah, it's my anime.
Add it to the list.
It's my 2022. I love it. It's great.
I think we're watching one of your favorites right now.
It's a Black
I believe
Clover.
you
Told
said
me
it was
about
one
the rendering one.
No, not yet. Summertime Rendering.
Oof. May have to kill some screens over here. It's
Bringing it to its
struggle.
knees.
Oh, it's bad. Ooh, it's bad. Let's see here.
No, we're watching. Me and the missus are watching Kill la Kill.
Oh, Kill la Kill's awesome.
I know that
love
is
Kill la
that's
Kill.
our favorite.
Which one? You watching the Japanese or the English dub's really good?
We're just watching it subbed.
Yeah, the English dub is really good. It's one of the.
It's kind of scrap. What?
It's one of the very few lead actresses that are Hispanic. I made sure to watch that one.
Cool. I might rewatch it then with the dub just to see.
It's like that damn Yu Yu Hakusho where I've watched both, and Yu Yu Hakusho's dub's like really really good.
What itch is it scratching?
There's another. I guess it's still considered anime, even though it's out of China. It's a Netflix anime. It's Scissor 7, I think it was.
Oh god, you're like
It's one of those. But it's scratching that same itch because it's like there's some like serious like battles and stuff that take place, but the rest of the show it doesn't take itself seriously. It's just really silly. It's like it can get crazy over the top.
Scissor 7.
And it's just fun. Both that and Kill la Kill are like right there with that same style.
Yeah, Richard. The whole point of Kill la Kill is like clothes are bad, and then you have like these people who want to destroy clothes, and they just run around with no clothes on. It's over the top silly. Like clothes are bad, clothes are evil. They're trying to take over your life.
Okay, this checks out.
And the clothes are aliens, and it gets deeper when it's going.
I've been trying to tell
silly.
people this for years, and someone capitalized on it and animated it. Apparently,
Yeah, it's one of the very few original animes out there that doesn't have anything based off any manga or anything like that.
just straight to the anime.
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often anymore. That used to be a thing back in the 90s.
Made by Studio Trigger, the same people that did the
Romare.
Edge Run.
You're
Yeah,
logging.
but the latest thing they did was the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime.
They also did Gridman. Gridman's good. They do a lot of good stuff.
I heard the Edge Runners is good. It like sent
It's
people
really
flooding
good.
back to whatchamacallit somehow. Yeah, Cyberpunk.
2077.
All right, All right, I'm down to 2 screens. This seems to be running somewhat better.
You've gone from 480p to 720p. It seems like.
I don't know. I look like shit on mine.
No, it looks fine.
is
Like
what
we
it is.
can
It's
we
working.
can tell you're speaking.
No, he looked like he was. He looked at like he was
140p?
before,
140p
Yeah.
sensor.
and now he's up to 720 for sure.
I mean, this laptop's not made for this.
It's doing a good job. We ran a stream. We did that Mario Kart YouTube recording from it.
I mean, it'd probably be better if I just undocked this laptop, but I don't know how it's gonna do when me open up these Windows to Play shit. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this strictly is my laptop to use when I'm away from home for studying. That's it. That's all I usually use it for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 242 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, Microsoft layoffs. That sucks. It's not going to be fun to go through. It's like 10,000 people, I think. PlayStation VR 2 launch games. Suicide Squad game leak. In parentheses, leak. No more Avengers? Question mark. And Stadia officially gone. This is like the what's dying and what's coming. I guess this is the death and the birth of video games in this one episode.
The Debbie Downer.
Yeah, but there's also
episodes.
some life. There's PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah, there's some
There's
decent,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad. I'm assuming that's going to be some good news.
Yep, you would guess right.
I mean, Suicide's in the name. You would think that's not pleasant, but I think a lot of people are looking forward to this game. So I guess if there's a new feature announced for it, it's good
We'll
news.
see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee. Speaking of Newsmaster, did I accidentally delete one of your links?
I don't know.
Did you put one in that VR too? Because when I looked at it before, there was no link, and I was going to put one in there. If you put one in there, I deleted it somehow because I was horsing around in there with my new pencil thing, and I think I don't know. I never did anything with the pencil, but I want to say it deleted.
I think I had left it blank intentionally because I was looking at one source for multiple stories because the one source seems to do better than a lot of the others at the moment. Because we talked about before how the Verge's website has after their redesign, it's just unmanageable. It's terrible. I mean, and then I look at the articles, and a lot of it's just just opinion pieces about whatever they're writing about. They're not reporting on it.
Brent, I'm gonna be honest. The only time I actually go to the Verge sites is when you post them in the links for news. That's it. Nothing against them, but I think that's the only time I remember they exist.
I used to like them a lot, to be honest. A lot.
They used to not really be that bad.
The new site is
just...
when a certain person was there. It starts with Arthur and ends with guys.
He was at the Verge. I like Dieter Bonn. That's at the Verge. He's kind of their gadget guy, I guess. I like it.
But for the PSVR article, I wanted to add a little variation, and just for stuff like that, I'll try to go to the actual PlayStation blog. So
here's your kicker, Cesar. Is he gonna make it, or is that one of the streams you killed?
That was one of the streams.
Oh, Blitz meter's going off. This isn't an extra point. This is a 3-point try.
They let him. They're gonna.
He nailed it, man. He drilled it. Shit. He drilled it right down the middle.
Finally, he needed that. He needed one. Because that man's fired at the end of the season.
He might be fired by the end of this quarter if he didn't get it together.
If they lose, he's definitely fired.
That's probably a possibility. Let's get into this news. Microsoft layoffs, not good. I think we were all kind of messaging about this back and forth this past week. This comes from Andy Robinson at VideoGamesChronicle.com. Microsoft layoffs confirmed to affect Bethesda and Xbox. 343 and Bethesda employees signal they've been laid off as part of 10,000 person cuts. That is awful. Quick reminder that Microsoft CEO, what's his name? Satya. I don't see it in here anywhere.
Satya Nadella. Is that his name?
Close to that.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, I'm thinking right.
Important to note, he made $25 million in salary last year, so that's just a side note. On Wednesday, Microsoft confirmed plans to lay off approximately 4.5% of the U.S. technology giant's 220,000 person workforce. The cuts arrive one day to the year after Microsoft announced its intention to purchase Activision Blizzard for around $69 billion. According to Bloomberg, Bethesda Game Studios, as well as 343 Industries, the company behind 2021's Halo Infinite, were affected. I laugh because I would cry otherwise, because, as we all know, Halo Infinite is in a weird state of development constantly, and sure, let's cut from that one. Microsoft's HoloLens business and some engineering divisions are also reportedly part of the cuts. There was a side note. I don't know that it's in this news article, but their hardware division is drastically, so that, I guess that means that's the end of that little Xbox streaming thing that we have talked about, and was behind Phil Spencer that time, and other couple things, whatever else they might have had in the works, or they partner with Logitech to do the xCloud device.
Because I think, didn't Phil come back and say, he reiterated on there the reason why they went away from this, because I think it almost costs as much as a Series S, and they're like, we're not gonna undersell it, try to get something that costs that much to it and hurt sales for both.
There wasn't a point to get to there and cannibalize that market if they couldn't get it to $100 or $150 or something, half of what the S would be.
Made it sound like it was $200 or something like that. So.
Another report from Lords of Gaming claimed 343 had suffered a significant amount of layoffs across the company, which are allegedly heaviest towards individuals working on the single-player side of the studio. Journalist Jason Schreier corroborated this claim, stating that several employees had indicated that it had been hit hard. Quote, hit hard. Kotaku also claims to have confirmed that a number of developers at the Coalition, the Vancouver, Canada-based studio formed by Microsoft to develop Gears of War series, are being laid off. None of these are good. It was also said somewhere that Joseph Staten, the long-term He came back to 343 to help guide Halo during the Infinite's troubled times.
He's leaving to go back to Xbox, just Xbox Studios,
Xbox
I guess.
Game Studios or something, right?
Publishing, the Xbox publishing.
But he was right there at the start of Halo. Like, he helped co-write the Halo Bible with Frank O'Connor back in the day. So he was kind of like one of the guiding forces behind especially the single-player aspect of Halo, right? And part of that story was that they were working on, and he was leading single-player campaign DLC type stuff. So that's your more story-based part of Halo. A lot of the issues seem to stem from this.
We didn't get any of that.
Yeah,
like,
you
talking about, and they were like this, and that was it.
And that was
I froze.
Yes.
OBS disconnected. Oh, that's not good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, I see that.
Don't know what happened. It should still all be on the Skype call though, hopefully, right? Reconnection successful. Is our stream back up? Like,
I don't see anything at the moment.
Oh no. I don't think Skype disconnected.
Gotta love those technical difficulties.
I won't repeat what I went over.
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, I won't repeat what I went over. This is always bad news. There's been other people reaching out saying, hey, if you were recently laid off, come to us. We've got openings, and putting their openings up. So hopefully those people land on their feet. Job cuts are not good.
Yeah. I know, let's see, Phil Spencer came out and said that having to do all the layoffs and everything, it was painful. 343 comes out and reaffirms the commitment to future Halo content.
Yeah. They said the story of Halo and Master Chief will always continue or something like that.
But what's interesting is, like, right before they announced all these layoffs, most of the Microsoft executives were in like an intimate concert meeting thing where they were being serenaded by Sting. So
we know what Sting can do for hours and hours. Was that part of the experience?
So, I don't know. That looks real good.
Like I said, $24 million bonus or something last year, and then we cut 10,000 jobs.
Yeah. Not only that, you have this huge looming $69 billion deal. And I know a lot of people have brought up, I've been seeing it float around a couple times, the comparison to when like Iwata and other Nintendo higher-ups took a pay cut in order to
not cut staff.
To not lay off staff. So.
Yep. Thoughts for those affected. Hope they land on their feet. It's not good. And just when we've spent like several episodes talking about where's Microsoft's first party output, like where's those Xbox games at, and then
it was really odd because most of the first party stuff got pushed, and then the whole like second half of last year, it was silence. It was radio silence.
I guess we find out this week, right? The developer thing is Wednesday?
Yeah, there's a developer thing this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's coming up. Redfall it's not supposed to be there.
I think Aaron Greenberg said it was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And also the Keeley warning of like temper your expectations. Why do they do that? Like, why is that a thing? Is that to stave off backlash potentially at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Taper your expectations. I'm like, okay. All right, but look forward to that Wednesday. I guess we'll be covering that news next week, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm yawning like hell. On your next episode of NOFODcast. Next up, PlayStation VR 2. 13 new titles and launch lineup revealed. This comes from PlayStationBlog.com. Oh, God, it's a bunch of games. That's a long-ass list. You go through the whole list, Brant?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go into the breakdown of every single one. But
I mean, I'll kick off. I can kick off your brand. Let's see. I mean,
there they are. It's at the bottom. It's not
Before
bad.
Your Eyes. Yeah. Before Your Eyes, Kayak VR, a game made for Richard.
I still haven't bought that Oculus one. It was on sale. I almost got it. Gersman's been selling me on the stealth kayak genre.
Pavlov VR, Puzzling Pieces, Song in the Smoke Rekindled, Synth Riders Remastered Edition, which was like 80 space something, Thumper, which we all know and love, our new Blitz favorite game, NFL Pro Air, where I'm just going to keep doing Hail Marys and not follow any of the playbook stuff as the coach feeds them to me. It's like, fuck that, Hail Mary. Fuck that, Hail Mary. Fuck that, flea flicker. What's the bat? I guess this which is supposed to be like, what's the golf?
Yeah.
Whatever their sequel is. Res Infinite, which is getting infinite updates since the Dreamcast game.
It is getting infinite updates.
Tetris Effect.
Oh, if Halo Infinite has as long legs as Res Infinite, I guess we're in good hands, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the Infinite genre.
The only one that's truly infinite. Tetris Effect Connected. Creed Rise to Glory Championship Edition. Gotta make sure we know the difference. The Last Clockwinder. And that, as Richard said earlier, brings your grand total up to, what was it, like 30-something games?
Mm-hmm.
The last
30 games.
I see the Last Clockwinder is a Myst studio. That Cyan Worlds. It's a Myst game of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Out of all these, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like about 7 of the 30 are free upgrades.
That's solid. I was looking at the ones that are not available on Oculus, and I think there's 3 on here. I think it's they're all together. I think it's Fantavision, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Call of the Mountain. Yeah, that's specifically the Sony ones. You're right. That NFL game must be pretty good. They advertise it a lot on Oculus. I won't say that bodes well for being good, but
I mean, long as I can pull Russell Wilson and not pay attention to what my coach says, and I can play what I want, I'll do it.
That's what you're treating this game as, is a Russell Wilson simulator?
I don't need this thing.
In the helmet.
What I think of you, coach. Yeah. Run a slant. Hail Mary.
Oh, God. Throw it deep. So that's our 3rd and 1. He threw it 80 yards in the headset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody's going to be upset as I make the touchdown.
Fuck you, coach.
Yeah. I'm getting belittled. Yeah. Offensive coordinator's yelling at me like, no, man, we just made the touchdown. Stop yelling at me. Go, let me do your job. Go sit down.
Oh, you're giving birds with the PlayStation the new controllers.
Yeah.
And
they're
giving you that
like conduct, getting 15 yards every time. I'm over here like, yeah.
You remember that first like FIFA Connect that would hear you yell at the TV and the referee would red card you?
Yeah,
that's right.
NBA 2K.
You yell at the TV, they're gonna red card you.
Get a technical. Yeah, technical. That's bullshit.
I need something like that. I need something like that for Halo to temper my temper, I guess. Stop yelling at the damn TV.
The only way we can temper our temper in Halo is never lose.
Yeah. You always win, your temper's fine, right? Yeah, I kind of would like to play the kayak game. It looks pretty good. Kayak VR genre. They laughed at them for stealth kayak VR. Now there's a kayak VR genre.
Yeah. You could be part of the kayaking strand if you just fucking get on there.
Part of the kayaking strand. I would like to see an Olympics game. Like, we've had Olympics collections since the beginning of time. The Olympics is next year, right? Like, it snuck up on us because they delayed that last... Yeah.
It's in Paris.
It's next year.
Yeah.
Like, that's exciting. I would love to see a kayak VR, an Olympic VR game with all these different, shot put where you're running around and doing all that kind of stuff. That might be pretty interesting.
Oh, God. As people do long jumps into their sofas.
Now that's a sport. That's what I would get into. Or people cheat like on the power pad, that Olympic track and field you could do on NES, where you sit on the bed and do the long jump on that, where you're hitting the pad, then you lift up your legs and then slam them down. Who didn't do that on track and field?
I mean,
that was the way to go.
Game over, right?
Look what I did. Yeah. They're like, there's no way you got that hang time.
Yeah. Beat my score.
Olympic VR. That might give me I need a PSVR 2 bundle in 2024 that comes with Olympics. Paris Olympics 2024. That's like a perfect mini game collection, right? To find out what the thing does.
I mean, to bring up your point, I don't think there's anything on this collection that has like a bunch of mini games in it.
Out of those 30 something, I mean, Fantavision is its own mini game.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
they're 100% going in selling this to people who's already been in the VR ecosystem.
just not a cheaper one, I guess.
Yeah, and they're making a lot of them, so hopefully this doesn't blow up in their face. I think us waiting might be good. We might get a decent deal. We're like, oh, we didn't sell enough of these things, and package 5 games with this thing.
Sega CD style, or Sega Saturn style.
Like, oh, maybe we should go to these developers and try to pay for these free upgrades to get some of these people.
There's 2 of them that are $10 upgrades. Wasn't that right?
There's a couple that were 10.
Was it the Moss ones? Or is the Moss like right out the box? You're paying out the ass.
I got both of those for Oculus, and I have Moss 1 for PSVR Uno. I don't think I'll double dip on that one.
Yeah. I think I got physical Moss somewhere.
They did come out with a physical Moss.
Just give me the free upgrade, damn
Let me pop my disc in.
It says both Rez and Tetris Effect will be available as upgrades for the original games for $9.99.
Those are the same. I already closed that browser tab, but those are the same developers, if I'm not wrong. Aren't they both Enhance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they've decided. Tetris Connected is a very, very good game. Actually, I have both of these on Oculus. Yeah, this is they need their killer app, right? I think that's what it comes down to, because this is being done. They're going to do it better than anybody on the consumer side when it comes out, but these are being done elsewhere currently. Yeah, they need compelling content for like any new platform. You need compelling content. I think it's well documented on this podcast. We didn't decide that was their day one for us. Next up, someone tell me about this Suicide Squad game that everyone's excited about, and the thing they're adding to it that everyone loves about it.
Yeah,
everything.
Go wrong.
Everybody loves this about video games. It's
Rocksteady's never
horse armor. $10 horse armor.
So this again comes from Video Games Chronicle. Andy Robinson reporting there was a leak of this of an image from the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, confirming plans of live service game elements such as a battle pass. Hooray, battle pass.
That's like where 100 people drop on an island, right? That's what that is. We're waiting for that to come to Halo.
Something like that. Oh, yeah, sure. We got what did they call that thing? The what was that mode that they added where it was kind of not battle royale-ish?
In Halo? Was it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Was it the ones where you had the orbs
that.
and you could resurrect the orbs if you found somebody?
No,
Orbius.
This is like it was like the free for all, and you all get spawned. Every time I played, it was on that map that we call the Doom 2016 map, and it's like I want to say it was 8-player, free. Everybody,
Last Spartan standing.
Everybody.
Cesar called it last douchebag standing.
There we go.
that was the name of the mode.
Yeah. I never missed it since.
Yeah.
I played it once.
I don't think I ever tried it. I've only ever played that game co-op. Maybe I played 1 or 2 rounds just to see what that pass was like.
It was not.
Brant, I know we're skipping ahead on Halo, but we're gonna talk about this new mode. We need 4 people in this new mode.
We're running out of time. I need to move up a couple more.
We've got like 8 days left or something.
It seems.
I would try it after this if we get out of here at a decent time. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, let's do this.
All right, let's go.
All right. So the image.
Suicide Squad Battle Pass. Crystal Dynamics. No more Avengers.
Battle Pass.
And Stadia's gone. I played Halo and I played some more Psychonauts. Cesar, would you play? Cesar played Callisto Protocol. Would you play? Would you play, Brant?
Really blowing through it.
Thank you guys. We'll see you. Thanks for coming this week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Ready to jump on Halo?
Good show, guys. Good show.
Well, we're best. That's why we're best in the West. We're not even
People are staring at their phones like, did I skip? Did something skip? Like, Fever Dream episode.
So the image was later verified by VGC sources. Understood to originate from a test build shown various menus planned from Rocksteady's co-op game. Battle Pass and multi-currency shown in the image have inspired debate, of course. However, development sources told VGC that the Battle Pass is planned for the game, but it will focus on only cosmetic things like skins. You can't. I'm sure you can find the image if you want to. I actually never saw the image itself. It has since been pulled down on Twitter and some other places, but it's the internet. Once it's out there, you can't pull it down forever.
Yeah.
In addition, the various currencies shown at the top of the leaked image are understood to be XP used for power-ups and customize the skill tree, such as anti-hero, effectively making them unique to the player.
I mean, cosmetics and skins aren't bad, right? Like, we jokingly grind out those in Halo. Like, it adds to what we're stupidly trying to do, like a Santa hat or something.
And then some of us spend money on these things.
There are whales out there. Well, Cesar, we paid for the Battle Pass, right? Like, they've gotten $20 of our money on Halo Infinite. I've not spent more than $20.
I've invested $20 in Halo as well. Whatever the lowest tier Battle Pass.
Across close to 300 hours for both of us. I think we're getting to that point. I know I'm at like 250. So,
and I think I paid the $15 for the premium Battle Pass in Apex. I said fuck it. There's a free version, but I went and did the $15 free one.
And that gets you. It's just cosmetics, right? Or legends. You get a new legend.
I think it gets you more items and some certain items faster, and which are mostly like taunts and other bullshit. I mean, I forgot somebody wrote a good article about how, like, they're a big Apex player, and they talked about how like shitty Apex is like doing like kind of like Halo Infinite, where they're like not really updating the game often and just doing bullshit cosmetics. Somebody called them out on it. It was a really good article.
I haven't heard that, but maybe I don't play it enough, because every time I get back in it, I feel like there's something new. So maybe it's for the daily player type person.
I think so, yeah, for the grind stuff. So,
because that's one of the things with all the stuff coming out this past week, people want from Halo is like more, just add more to the career thing, like make more. This event is fun. I'm having fun with this mode. We're gonna talk about it, but it's got me dipping back into that to play a mode I wouldn't normally pick.
Yeah, it's good, but to the credit, we need 4 people for that mode, and then we need.
We need to all be GoPro Spartans, except for we're gonna lose our Santa hats. I'm pretty sure.
I will replace my Santa hat when I get the GoPro. It will happen.
I just got the Santa hat. Don't make it something that's other part of the body. Give me a cod piece. Let me grind out a GoPro cod piece.
I mean,
yes.
Gold cod piece.
The Golden Cup. Call it the Golden Cup event.
The see-through repeal underwear,
or a golden breastplate for your female Spartan, if that's your character. Some sort of genitalia in like a special,
induced.
Like diamond encrusted or something.
Yeah, I mean that way you can match your Halo Master Chief genitalia based icons.
Yes.
Oh my god.
What was this about Suicide Squad? I don't know. Turned into a Halo conversation.
That's pretty much the whole thing. Is, of course, everybody hears the word Battle Pass and kind of cringes. And
I mean, because we've been burned. Burned so many times. It's like everybody's going to expect the worst at this point. So I mean, it sucks because it's Rocksteady. You hope you give them a chance, but
this is their first game in a while, right?
I think it'll be fine.
I mean, look what fucking happened. I mean, now everybody's freaking out. It's probably like the Avengers game that came out not too long ago. So
that's going along fine.
Speaking of which,
great segue, Cesar.
Yep. And this is from VGC. Andy Robinson. Crystal Dynamics confirms at the end of Marvel's Avengers later this year. The final update will be March 31st, 2023. Hopefully, we'll play Babylon's Fall before that gets canceled as well, which is around that time. I think it's a week before that.
Everybody's waiting on me for that, right? At this point.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because like
thought Babylon Falls in February.
Gotta play it
know,
soon.
man. We need to hurry
Yeah,
up.
I gotta
on
play it soon.
Yeah.
I might stream
they're
that
gonna
first
end
hour
all-
or two as I create a player and all that.
You should. And I'll sit there waiting on the whatever imaginary couch they have on the game, just waiting for you to join.
Come on, buddy.
Well,
Catch up, buddy.
end all official support on September 30th, 2023. However, after September 30th, single multiplayer gameplay will continue to be available.
This did have a single player campaign, right?
Which is very,
I heard
very
it was
good.
great. Yeah.
It's just not very long.
Yeah.
It's like 6 or 7 hours, but it is worth the if you can get a copy for $15.
I was about to
it's
say,
worth
I
it.
think it's
mean,
like
for
10 or
$60
15 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it for that.
You think it'll
They go on to say,
be dirt cheap when the online component is gone?
they said multiplayer and single player still there, so I would see it probably be base 20.
Yeah.
I probably would be more than 20. I'm sure they're gonna, since they just got bought out by the Embracer Group, I'm sure they're gonna try to recoup some of those costs they have on there and just do maybe even retool it to be single player only, featuring on the cover, more of a solo experience. And they go on to say, to our amazing community, after 2.5 years and introducing 12 of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, following the update 2.8 of March 31st, 2023, will no longer add new content or features to Marvel's Avengers. It said all official support for the game will end on September 3rd, 2023. And as I said before, single multiplayer keeps going. They had some kind of weird graph here that I won't go into details about how their credits will no longer be purchased and how all credit balances will be converted. I tried to look at it and then my head hurt. And I was like, no, I won't even try to figure this out.
So this doesn't sound like a major loss. Like, this is a small bit of it, right? Except for people who maybe wanted more live service content, but you're still gonna have the game in the multiplayer.
This was like their live service was very similar. I think when we play, from what I played of it, like the Ghost Recon, like Wildlands and that type of thing, where it's 4-player co-op and a lot of grinding, a lot of leveling up, and there is some story beats, or it's like Destiny, but it's not. It's most of the time like most of one of my coworkers at work gave up on Destiny too because they every time a new expansion come out, they'll beat it before the weekend's done, and they're like they just got bored of it, so they're like,
it's that small of a chunk, the new expansions and stuff.
He plays so much of it. I think they just blew through in the weekend. I mean, because he literally, what he would do is like, as soon as shit comes out, he'll be there at work. Not telling him this person, as he worked, but have YouTube on the background watching somebody doing a playthrough of the dungeon. So it's like, oh, okay, I got to meet up with all these people because dungeons had to be done with 4 people or more. So he'll kind of do a guide like, all right, what you need to do. So he'll kind of get like a gameplay in his head, and then he'll just run through it with his friends
and execute after watching a play of it. Yeah.
And they'll be done before the end of the weekend. So like after that, and I guess he got kind of burned where they made it easier for new people to come in, and it kind of burned a lot of people who were, I don't know, man. Some people have that whole egotistical maniac where like, I put 400 hours in this game. It shouldn't be fair that somebody who put 1 hour, 2 hours in there gets to my level so quickly, So some people don't care, and then some people, like, I put in this time for this reason, and so can just skip up to it in like 10 hours and for the 400 hours I put. That's not fair, So I think he kind of jumped off of it. So every time I see him online now, he's just playing FIFA. Okay. And every time I see him at work, it's like, I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. because we're having FIFA tournaments. He's like dead tired.
Oh my gosh. FIFA, they flip from Destiny to FIFA. That's a hell of a pivot.
Yeah. It's kind of like us, how we always find shit to play in groups. This is how his group works.
Yeah.
Like whenever his group of friends always find something, they just jump on it. And like I'll see him on Destiny ever so often. But right
honestly, we have that.
Modern Warfare, they're playing Modern Warfare now, scratching their itch for them because I always see him on Modern Warfare. So Modern Warfare 2, excuse me. They go on to say at the end of this article that they, Crystal Dynamics have signed on to co-develop Perfect Dark, and as well as Tomb Raider later.
For Amazon games.
And that's your Crystal Dynamics Marvel Avengers news of the year, I guess. No, that'd be the week.
The year's been short. That might be news of the year.
I don't know, unless something drastic happens, like we call sport in July.
After September 30th.
You got till then if you want to do the grind of leveling up, because that game really took a shit when they went in there and they nerfed everything and made it, you made it very difficult to level up, and you had to put more and more hours into it. And whatever interest I had into it, I was like, I don't. This. No.
I think I'm done with this now.
They gave it to us for free on PlayStation 1 month. I remember.
So for the story, it's great.
Okay.
I'm going to segue into the next one. Is Lay Down You Gentle Knight. The Google Stadia is officially shut down.
Lay Down You Gentle Knight.
All from the VGC BGC Chris Sculion, yeah. Google streaming service data has officially been shut down just over 3 years after its launch. The cloud service launched on November 19, 2019, but it failed to gather any real momentum, leading Google to announce September 2022 that the service will be ending. And the time has now come. Stadia service will shut down at 11:59, which is already over. If you try to jump on there now, it's too late for it. They marked it with a final tweet from the Google Stadia Twitter account, thanking all the players for take part. I think they went on there and they released like their first game ever, right? I think their final game was like the Worm game, something they were just tinkering with that they wanted to test it with.
Some netcode test.
I think that was like maybe it was like a couple of days before the shutdown. They gave it enough time for people to play it. And I think they did like a credits at the end, like for everybody who supported Google. It was a nice shout out. So, yep. And now it's gone. And now you have Google bitching about Microsoft buying game studios.
So we're down to one.
That's their only way to the gaming world.
We're down to one streaming service like this, and it's Luna, right? Amazon Luna. Has anybody tinkered with that?
Luna, NVIDIA is part of the second one, but NVIDIA is on like closed system so far. It's not on
the GeForce Now.
So. Because I think what was it? The two groups complained or didn't complain. They said they raised concerns about Microsoft was what NVIDIA and Google, right? I think those were the two, and those are the ones that had their handing streaming. So
I saw my TV updated to support GeForce Now, so I guess it has like GeForce Now integration in it. So is that a separate? What do you have to have for that? Is it its own streaming platform?
Yeah, I think there's a free version, and you get like a lower tier streaming, and then there's paid markets where you get more access to games and higher like a 1080p or 4K streaming. So there's a plan on there. It's more of like what a lot of people felt. It was like the in between of like Game Pass and Stadia, where they wanted like Google to do. So it's like I don't think they sell stuff a la carte, kind of like Google did. Yeah. But there is a definitely different pay tiers to access different games and to different quality type of games. So,
okay, might have to check that out.
I don't know. I've never officially looked at it because I just didn't have anything that supported it. But I know it's something they're pushing out there. So, and I think the concern from both those is just that the Microsoft owning all those studios and they having the most premier streaming service. And that concern will be there. How much NVIDIA will be able to get their hands on some of those games for their streaming service. So.
Did you guys ever get a Stadia?
No.
So I'm the only one that ever tinkered with it, and it streamed flawlessly for me. I did that. What was that Breath of the Wild Ubisoft knockoff thing?
The Rising
Immortals Phoenix Rising. Phoenix. I played the demo of that, and it was great. And then I won one game I popped into PUBG and won one game of duos with somebody, and that was perfect. And they did
never played it since.
No, and they did release an API to like convert your controller into Bluetooth controller for PC and other things that are Bluetooth enabled. But it also that kills the Wi-Fi connection that it had because the way Stadia worked, the controller was Wi-Fi too, so it was like both devices were connected to that server.
It needed the Wi-Fi to be in sync with the streaming service. So,
It really worked. I mean, but the numbers were there for them to close it, so I guess it is what it is.
I mean, that's really nice of Google to do that because they could have been like, well, it blew. Good job to owning your plastic and freaking killing the planet with all those out there. So now they get a reason for people to reuse that stuff.
There's an article somewhere too where they, it might be The Verge, where they're saying this is how you shut down a service. They announced well ahead of time it was going down. They, if you were a pro member, you kept the games that you had. They didn't add any new games to it, but you kept access to those games basically for free for like 6 months. You could play all those titles that were released under that Stadia Pro plan. They refunded all purchases that you might have made on the store. They refunded purchases for hardware, but apparently I didn't get mine through Google. I got mine somewhere else, so I will not get a refund, but I guess I have that footnote in history, right?
Yep, you can put it next to your copies of E.T. for Atari 2600.
It was them that did that weird museum thing, right, of all the dead consoles? Okay, yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, Frank Cifaldi was talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Yep, because they sent them the Power Glove, the E.T., the Dreamcast. It was like all these failed things that were at this Stadia launch party. This is a Phil Harris.
Things you want to stay stay away from, but they're like bragging like we'll never do these things.
And this is the Phil Harrison effect, right? Wasn't he behind this? Wasn't he in Stadia's hands at some point?
Yes, he was the head of their first party studios, I think.
All right, no more Stadia, no more connecting to those servers,
and no more news. Finally,
the worst. I honestly would say, and I know I talked about it on here, but the worst part of the Stadia was like setting up the Chromecast. I got an official Google Stadia set, and it seemed like I was hacking that little Chrome box thing, whatever the Chrome dongle. What is their interface called?
Google OS or something.
Whatever the little hockey puck thing was. I feel like I was hacking it. Like it was not. That was not an official Google Stadia thing. It just came in the box, and I was like trying to root this thing as I set it up. It was it did not behave there for a little while. Chromecast. That's what I was trying to come up with. I guess I can use that now for something. I can stream to that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. You can just install your Pornhub app and just play
it's already on there. Why? Now my Stadia controller can't control my fast forwarding my pornography on my Chromecast.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for Richard. Like, how did you know? Did you go on my Chromecast?
You've been there.
Stay off my Chromecast.
I said I played the demo. I won a chicken dinner and I watched pornography.
That's private. That's a private.
I mean, it's what people use PS2 for. They had the controls for the adult DVDs at the time. That's what it's necessary for. Games played. Let's bring this thing home. I mentioned a new mode in Halo that is called Joint Ops, I think is the name of it. And it is there was a featured mode a couple months ago, and I never played it. I don't know if you guys ever did, but it's called Covert One Flag. And essentially one team, it's one flag, so one team is attacking, one team's defending. And if you score with the flag,
I was like, you're trying to bring me up to speed like you were earlier. I'm sitting there when Richard was explaining to me, like, this is what you do. I'm sitting there like lost as fuck. Yeah. He's over here like, here's the book. And read the book. I'm like, why is this thing 400 pages? All right, so go to the first section on...
We don't have the flag. We don't have the flag. We got to go...
Yeah. I was like, why didn't you explain this as before they get match loaded? Because I'm learning as I go. Like, and you're like, you
need your thermal
sensors. Use your sensors. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I did this with Dale too, right? Did Dale play with us as a third of our fourths?
I think you are more. You were more majestic when you got to Dale.
We'd figured it out by then. All right, so this is the sixth.
I think by then you're like, it was more understandable for me. I'm sitting there like a deer in headlights. Like, what the fuck is happening?
The sixth explanation is for our listeners and for Brant. So you're either attacking or defending. You're attacking for the flag or you're defending the flag. If you are defending the flag, you have threat sensors, which are unlimited, and you can ping them every, what is it, Cesar, about 5 or 6 seconds? Like you throw it out there, it bings a couple times.
Right. Unless you throw out a new one or something like that. Yeah, unless you throw out a new one.
You have swords if you're defending, and you have commando rifle. If you're attacking, you have the stealth camo. And that's unlimited. Like these are, you're hitting that thing over and over to keep yourself invisible. Yep.
Lord knows I am. I'm hitting RBI.
And you have a pistol and you have a pulse carbine, I think is that weapon.
Pulse carbine, bullshit pulse carbine.
And you have, each side has grenades.
Which somehow I get killed by the other side. I don't get it. I'm sitting there with the sword and they kill me with the pulse carbine. I was like, I don't want the fuck.
So imagine, Brant, if you're defending, imagine you're like around the flag and you know invisible people are coming at you. And the only way to find them is to throw these threat sensors. So you're trying to find any place on the map near the flag.
They are truly invisible. We lost the flag.
Never saw it a couple times because the flag also goes invisible. Yep. Yeah.
I'm sitting there shooting everywhere and I'm like, what? Where the fuck's the flag? And they're already almost halfway through their base.
So it's good if you... It seems like more often than not, if you get the flag and you get a good distance away from the post, you're going to score. There's no way to catch up once you get to that point. So we had all sorts of hijinks with that. Cesar and I played a couple rounds because I talked him into that because there's a little 10 season or a 10 level battle pass thing associated with it. And if you get all GoPro. 10, you get the GoPro, which is, we're calling it a GoPro. It's like a little head mounted thing that's like right above the helmet. And I'm at level 9. I got to level 9 in like 5 or 6 plays, I think. We've lost all but one. So even losing will get you enough points to get up there. But
We won the one,
and
with
we
Dell, right? That's the
destroyed
first one
them.
actually
We got
won.
all 3 points. We
Yeah.
defended, attacked, and defended, or we defended, attacked,
Flawless
yeah,
victory.
attacked, defended, attacked, and got all 3. That's what it told us, flawless victory. And that was great, because we'd been so frustrated by it. It's like, we're not even coming close, and we're thinking it's so tactical and it requires so much communication. We're always in a party chat, right? So we don't get on with these randos, and you don't hear the vial of the internet in your headset. And it would just be me and Cesar, and the other 2 would just be on their own page too. So we never got it together. But with Dale, it turned the tide. The rando, I can't remember if he was like really good or really contributed, but the 3 of us, I think, was enough to communicate and, you know, holler out where somebody was or use the threat sensors accurately, that sort of thing. But the new mode's pretty good, and it's got us playing this mode we wouldn't normally play.
Yeah. Brant, join us.
We also, of course, have played a fair bit of Fiesta. Anything of note with that, Cesar? I gotta post that clip I got where I hammered those 3 people.
I don't know. I don't know if it's more. Yeah, I don't know if it's more people playing Fiesta, but it's been more competitive than what it was before, because we were like undefeated, untouchable, like on some of those rounds. Like we would lose 1 out of like the 10 we play. Now it's a bit more even. Now, like we'll win like 3, lose 5, or some shit like that.
I feel like more people are playing, or we stepped up to another tier or something like that, because it ebbs and flows for us for sure. It's very streaky. We don't really have any win loss. We'll win 3, we'll lose 5, like you said. Go back to winning 3, and it's not against the same teams. Like if we're really killing a bunch of people, we'll drop back. If we're really getting destroyed, we'll drop back and let them load into another game. That sort of thing.
That, or I don't know if it's really random or not, because I mean, Richard went through like 4 matches before he got rockets. So,
and that's just the developers teaming up against me, like the Truman. Oh, I was living in the Truman Show, never getting rockets. Getting this.
Yeah. They're like,
give
give
the
us
same
2
shit
handguns.
Weapons over and over.
What am I gonna do with these 2 handguns? Handguns in the shield. Handguns in the shield. I'm like, my favorite was they give me 2 long range weapons, and as they run down, they gun me down, because I'm all close range. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? There's nothing I can do. I had 2 long range weapons. So
There was a couple rounds where, and the spawns have gotten weird with that too on Fiesta, where you'll spawn
They spawn me to
spawn
die.
either next to them or you spawn across the map away from your teammates, so you have no support anywhere.
Yeah.
But
I got sworded by the
Yeah,
same guy who
that's
killed me
fun.
before. He killed me with a sword, and they spawned me, and he's running the map.
That's
and
always
sworded me
fun.
again. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
we also played with 2 Cesars over the past weekend. You remember that, right? Yeah.
We have. Yeah.
Like Cesar R and then Cesar Runs.
Cesaroni. Yeah, Cesaroni or something like that. It's like a bad Chef Boyardee can.
Cesar, we made you out of pasta noodles, like that Seinfeld episode. There's Fusili.
Cesaroni. It's the freaking chef. It's a freaking chef that rat hat. That's what it is.
There's Fusili Jerry and there's Cesaroni. Rat chef.
Yeah.
Cesaroni's pretty good. I like that one. Oh, but those were they're fun. They can be aggravating. They can be when you don't get rockets and you're getting rocketed nonstop, like multiple rounds back and forth. It's like,
but the same person, by the same fucking person, who's at least 10 of
Unlimited
them. I'm like, how does this dude keep?
oh, what I was saying before, there was when I would start getting the shit weapons over and over and over, I would run to where I would see people dying, like towards a conflict. I would throw grenades and then I would try to find a weapon somewhere on the ground. Like I knew there was a conflict over there. I was in that life particularly just to try to swap weapons because I had 2 shitty ones.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. I mean,
you live and die.
The weapons are bad, dude. They're so bad.
You said embarrassing Halo. I was like embarrassing weapon generated Jesus or whatever the RNJ is, RJN.
Oh, every game I play is gonna be embarrassing. Whatever game
Embarrassing
I'm playing,
Callisto Protocol.
That way they know they come in there like, this is embarrassing. No, it says it in the title, embarrassing.
Yeah, don't come in thinking this is like a.
You see, no,
don't
you
come in
signed up.
thinking
You
this is a
signed
well
up.
done product.
Yeah,
The other game I played is I got back on Psychonauts on Xbox, and I made progress. And I'm like, finally, get me out of this fucking kaiju level. And we've talked about it before. I know Brant specifically mentioned it for this game, I think, but it was like, step away from the game for a little while, come back to it, and then, like, I died one time, I think, in this battle, and then I killed him after that. I got his patterns down. What I was doing at the end of the kaiju level, and you're like in the Lungfishopolis.
Kaiju.
So you're fighting this guy named Kamaraju or something. He's this flying. It's the coach. Spoilers, I guess, for Psychonauts. It's the
No, you ruined it for me, you son of a bitch.
You guys have both played it. It's
I'll never play
Coach
this game ever
Oleander
again.
from early in the game. He doesn't quite know what's happening, and I don't really either. Something's up, but he's taken the role of this character. And what I was trying to do the first time I played it was Raz has a shooting mechanic, like a projectile mechanic. So as this guy's flying around, I'm like popping him with these things. And then I would get to a stage where he's down on the ground and he attacks me and tries to like send out this like shockwave thing. And between the combos of those and Raz moves so slow as the kaiju. They call him Goggalore. And I hate how slow this movement is. It's like they put him in molasses. It's such a good platformer. And then they just slowed everything down. But I got this pattern down right before this. I should know this is like a Zelda thing. Right before this level, you get a shield. Or right in this world, right before this boss fight, you get a shield attack or shield attribute where Raz like has this security shield thing. And it prevents the shockwave from affecting you. And the battle I was talking about when he's in the air, when he's trying to shoot that beam thing at you and you dodge it and shoot something back at him, that also is the shield. You hold down the shield and the beam goes right back to him. So I literally cheesed him pretty easily after dying that first time.
I mean, I don't feel bad about cheesing people in older platformers because they will cheese the fuck out of you.
I just didn't. It had to be like that, and yeah, even the new Zelda was like that. Where the new Zelda Breath of the Wild came out like 6 years ago. When you go to fight that lightning boss, if you haven't invested in the lightning prevention gear in the Gerudo area, you're gonna be toast. None of your other shit is gonna work whatsoever. It's gonna get burned up, and I had so much trouble with that fucking boss. I hated that boss so much. That was my Dark Souls of Zelda moment. But I finally beat that, so I'm back to I got a resolution for that little story bit. The lungfish now is named Linda. It's like, this is the name they've blessed me with. I love this. I adore this game. Yeah. This game is so good. I'm very happy it was on my list last year. So now the lungfish will carry me back and forth across the lake. I am at an insane asylum, and there's someone outside the door who looks like a milkman who says he's waiting on the milkman, and I have to go find him now. Is where I'm at in the story. But he's dressed like a milkman. Okay,
that's a great part.
All right,
so that level you're coming up to, if you haven't started yet, is like on a lot of people's list of one of the greatest gaming levels in platforming.
I can't wait then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
a good one.
Honest, don't tell me anything. That's where I'm at. Like I have to figure out how to get into the asylum or find where the milkman is. So.
Yeah, that next level you're coming up on is really, really good.
I couldn't figure out what to do there. I left that area.
I am a sewer worker. I work in the sewer.
I feel called out. I ended up going. I ended up going back across the lake.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Sasha 9 and the other agent, Mila, they're gone. So I can't talk to them and do that normal stuff, and it's kind of weird. I replayed a couple levels that I've beaten before because now I have like the cobweb blaster. So you're trying to clear. There's a lot of like brain and thinking analogies in this game. So like you're trying to clear the cobwebs from somebody's brain, or you're trying to. The bonuses are these. They're called mental baggage. So you have to find like emotional baggage. That's it. You have to find a tag and then unlock the baggage, and it's like this weird luggage looking stuff. And there's 3 to 5 on the level, depending on what the level is, that sort of thing. So I've been going back to, I did the Oleander level, and then I started doing, what was that other one? It's the one where Dogen gets his brain taken out from that person.
Dogen's brain.
That's what they keep teasing about. No, he's just like that. The writing, the characters is so good. That's normal. That's how he is. Don't worry about it. But I'm kind of poking around. Everything's dark, like it's nighttime all of a sudden, and no one is in the camp. So I've got to figure out where this next like story beat is. It's not very good at telling me where to go next. So I'm gonna poke around a little bit.
Also classic old school
true.
platformer.
And that guide, the Psychonauts guide, is like
as
$60 plus.
That's what they want you. That's what they want you to buy is that guide back in the day. They're like, buy the guide, figure out where
and
to
your
go.
boy was selling the guide alongside the game for 10%, an extra 10% off with purchase of the game.
Don't worry, man. You'll roll up into a Goodwill
Find a
one
Psychonauts
day and
guide.
find it there.
Oh, but the writing on this game is so good. I'm so happy to be out of the kaiju level. Like, I'll know how to mainline it next time. I got hung up on multiple parts of this level, which is what made it seem like it drug on for so much longer. But I'm so glad to be back out of, get out of that level and be back in the normal, like, Psychonauts flow of things. So good. That game's so fucking good.
I don't know about Brand. I think the hardest level I had of difficulty was the board game one. He knows what I'm talking about. I think that's the one that
y'all said towards
gave
the
me
end
the
there's
most
some
trouble.
platforming that's just crazy.
Yeah, toward I remember
outside of the circus thing, which is bullshit. I think the level that gave me the hardest time was that board game one, because there was some shit that it wouldn't explain to you that you had to do, and then I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm running around the whole thing. I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah,
this is literally the only time I've been hung up on this game. It's
there's some stuff that just hasn't aged well from that, but the majority of it, the story, the writing, the characters,
art style,
everything is
music,
it's so
it's
well
timeless.
done. That soars above some of
They killed Majesco.
that soars above the dated mechanics, or the weird difficulty spikes and things.
9
like
times
that.
out of 10, I'm thinking, this is not an Xbox game. Like, this should have been on 360 or later. This was so far ahead of its time, and this is a legit good game now. And then 1/10 of the time, I would say I'm like, ooh, this certain element has not aged well. Just in the way you play a game. It's not any sort of cringe or well, it may have backtracking or something like that. I haven't done much of that except for seeking out the cobwebs, but that was just me doing that, trying to increase. I just got invisibility. I wonder if I need to use that somewhere. That's the trait I just got, which is real cool because it's like you just see Raz's glasses and like a shadowy figure of him, but you just see like his red goggles with the invisibility. That's super cool. That's it. But that's it for me for this week. Finally made progress on Psychonauts.
Yes.
I love that game.
Finally.
I can't wait to play this. I'm assuming they learned a lot of lessons in almost 20 years, and that I know you guys both raved about Psychonauts too, but I can't.
Psychonauts
Brent, you never played 2?
So.
Psychonauts 2 is like the perfect platformer, man.
It was on Cesar's
stop
list.
playing when I played it, man. It was so fucking good. And
yeah. I was waiting for the physical version.
I just got one off of GameFly. Had it. I just got the GameFly one. Yep. Mother Lobe edition.
Mother Lobe.
Yeah, but that's my games played for this past week.
Appreciate it, Richard. I guess for me, it's simple, man. I put in some time in that One Piece Odyssey, but not too much, and in Trails in the Sky the Third, a little bit more on my Steam Deck, but not too much I can mention. In most of this week is, as Richard mentioned before, I did do
I was on the stream.
a trial run of GameFly, because I always talked about it. I figured this was the year to do it because I'm looking at the calendar and there's a lot of games coming out within the next 2 or 3 months. So I know I'll have it probably for the next 2 or 3 months. So while I was waiting for Dead Space and Forspoken to ship, I rented Callisto Protocol because it was one I wanted to play. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to pay the $69 or the $59.99 for the last gen version to get in there and play, because I've always heard mixed things. And what I played so far is actually not that bad. I like it. I don't know if I would have been. I don't know if it's $69.99 good, but I've enjoyed it.
That seems to be the consensus, right?
I did stream. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I don't know. I did stream a little bit of it. I only streamed maybe all of Chapter 3 probably, because I've gotten near Chapter 3. Fuck it, let me stream it, because I wasn't doing anything that day. But I mean, the majority of the game you play as Jacob, who is a runner of such. He's on a ship and he's doing one last run from the Callisto moon to Europa, and he's bringing a supply.
So is a smuggler, or it's a legit job?
It's a legit job. So I don't know, because he's saying like we're getting paid a whole bunch of money to bring this back and drop it off. So and this is our last run, and we're gonna be paid like kings, and we can retire. That's what he tells his
living the dream.
co-captain, or what they call him.
Is this a Strand type game?
No,
This
Strange genre.
Strand.
So as they give you when you start the level, it's kind of like their way to get adjusted to the controls. So he's like, oh, let me walk around and take a look, and Jacob's walking around, and then he sees that there's a hole in the ship. Looks like somebody stowed away and got on there. And then as you walk around and introduce you more to the controls of crouching and walking and running and picking shit up, you see that these people are invading your ship trying to get to some cargo. They spot him out there. He runs into the hangar and seals the door, and then opens the cargo bay, and it shoots everything out in space. And then you see a young lady who, like, maybe before the level started, you see there's some kind of like zombie disease happening in Europa, and it's been kind of pointing to her as the cause, and it's the same person on your ship.
Ooh.
And so you end up crash landing on Callisto, which is that prison colony there, which you originally got your cargo there. So he's like, oh, I'm coming in hot. I mean, I just need somebody to help me. And they're like, yeah, you know me. You just help me out with there. And then somebody orders the robots to arrest him and put him into the prison. He doesn't know why. So his crewmate's already dead. He died in entry. So they send him to this colony prison where he meets Elias, who is somebody who's been there for 20 years, who knows how the workings of the prison and how to get him out.
Is he meet him in person, or is he talking on like a radio or something?
You meet him in person, and then you talk to him on radio as you go through. So as you go through the game, he wakes up and all these mutated things are happening. You don't know why. He doesn't know why that's all happening. So it plays like Dead Space. It looks like Dead Space. When they install the plate in the back of your neck, it has your life bar back there. I don't remember the item system in Dead Space, but this one sucks ass. So all right. The biggest complaints I have in this game, and I will list them here now, is item inventory is the worst thing I've ever played since Resident Evil 4. You can only hold 6 items.
We've learned since then, though. That game's like 18 years old.
Right. Item management sucks ass. You get more items when you get your suit, when you leave the prison and go out into the space area. And then you get like I think 12 items, but it sucks because you have to get these like decoders and converters and stuff that you find around, and they're like in different condition. You sell those to get credits to upgrade your weapons. So I always constantly find myself like, all right, what the fuck do I have to drop to get this item that way I can get back and get it made? And it uses a 3D print machine, like a 3D printer, to print out what you need, which is pretty cool. To get back to there so I can sell it, so I can upgrade my equipment. So I'm sitting there like, all right, I don't need this, and I'm dropping ammo and stasis, which is similar to like Dead Space, where you can grab stuff and bring it to you and shoot it back at the walls. There's like things that refill that, and I'm constantly just dropping that shit. The other gripe I have is the checkpoints. It sucks ass. So if I literally go to a checkpoint before an area loads, it saves it. If I go back to get something, and I go back to the same area I had the original checkpoint in, there's not a checkpoint there. I have to continue with the story to get the next checkpoint. So if I die, I got to go back and redo everything I did before and to get back to where I need to get to. There is no checkpoint when I upgrade weapons. So if I do an upgrade on a weapon or buy anything, there's no checkpoint. So if I die after I did that and don't reach the next checkpoint, I got to go back and do all that shit again. So there's times of where I've died and I got to go back and redo this weapon again. I got to go back and redo this weapon again. It just adds more time unnecessarily to the game. It doesn't matter if I save there manually. It still checkpoints to that.
Does it feel like padding?
Spot. I hate it.
Sounds like padding.
No, it's just bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's bad. I'm not gonna say. I don't know if it's bad. I won't say it's bad game design. I just wish they would, in this quality of life update they just did, because they just did one like 2 days ago, which was pretty big. And they fixed a lot of shit. I wish they would have fixed it, because it is so fucking annoying, man. It's so annoying to go and sit there and load up on a bridge and go across it, and some bullshit happens when 3 people that I don't know were there gang up on me and kill me, and then I got to go back to there, reprint something on my gun, and resell everything, and then get back on the same fucking bridge and take a chance I'm going to die again, and go all the way over there. And then redo it again. There was one there on the stream. I did it 3 times before I beat it. I had to go back, make sure, reprint whatever I needed. It's bullshit. Yeah. It sucks. It kills it for me.
Bad flow. Maybe instead of game design, right now, bad flow.
I don't know what. I'm trying to think like back to something that has such a bad checkpoint history. This is the one in the longest time I can think of. Because I don't think there's anything that's irritated me so bad. Like I can. There's better checkpoints in Elden Ring. In that game, I died so much in Elden Ring. I figured I'd get fucked over in Elden Ring more. So there's, I mean, at least when I die in Elden Ring, it fucking loads up right before the boss fight. It gives me a checkpoint there, and I just gotta want to grab my shit. That's the only catch. I can't die again. I just gotta make sure I grab my shit before I die again. So that's like the only catch. But it's like even that game is made to be hard, man. But outside of that, I mean, the game is graphically beautiful. It's really, really pretty with ray tracing. I don't have too many hiccups on the performance. I'm playing on performance, not performance, fidelity. Excuse me. Playing on fidelity. There's only certain areas where I see some hiccups on like frame rates, but everything else has been pretty smooth. I think they fixed a lot of that with this quality of life update. Yeah. So if you jump on it now, it's pretty good. But it plays like Dead Space, man. It's fucking Dead Space. It just goes through. The only difference is it's more on the action. It's like what you would call, Richard, like you enjoy, like in The Last of Us and Uncharted. Like when you get into areas, it's like set pieces where they load enemies on there, and it's just like set in that one area. So there's different ways to kill the enemies. They give you different, like you can throw them against the wall where your telekinesis. You can come up behind them and use stealth and stab them in the back and do a one-hit kill, or you can just take them all on. I mean, so it's like it's different each time, and I do enjoy the gameplay. I mean, the story is not really anything to write home about. This is a typical 2000 style action, like it's a freaking zombie apocalypse on this world, and this lady, her name is Danny, who works for the Resistance, and she suspects you as the one who's a supplier. And then when she goes to the ship and finds out all you had was medical supplies, it's like, see, I fucking told you it was medical supplies. You're sitting there blaming this shit on me. And they're trying to figure out who's doing it, and the warden's the one like sabotaging and leaving the planet. And like now you're trying to figure out, is the warden in on it, and who's running all this stuff behind the scenes? It's like, and he's just trying to get home, and he's trying to get the fuck off the planet. She's trying to figure it out. It's like, I don't want to do any of this shit.
Let me out of here.
Get the hell out of here. And she's like, it's like, no, we got to figure out who's fucking everything up. And I'm like, I mean, that's pretty much the story's been so far. So, and it's not bad, but I think I've enjoyed the more the gameplay aspect of it. And I'm at the point now where they have these things that are similar to like The Last of Us, like the zombies you can't see, the clickers. Mm-hmm. So like I have to move around stealthily, and if I move around very silently, stealthily, they won't see me. But the problem is now what they've been doing is they've been flooding the area with them. So like I'll go from like just having one area which has these weird xenomorphs and shit like that. There's like one or two of them. I'm going to area where like there's 20 of these things, and I'm just sitting there just walking around slowly and creeping. And then because it's like there's no way I can get in a fight in some of these areas because there's literally 20 of them littered in there. Like if I start a fight, they're all on me, just swelling on me, and I'm like, it's impossible. So I was like, there are certain areas where they kind of require you to do with a finesse and touch and stealth, and then there's certain areas, all right, I can kind of break this up and go after them. So now I'm at the point where I'm heading back into this colony that the prison's built under a colony that's been decommissioned, Arcus. And now I'm on this elevator where it gives me like a whole bunch of different weapons and treasure chests. So I was like, oh, great, this is going to fucking battle here. And that's what happened. I started up, it was like 50 of them loading up on there. And that's where I stopped for right now. I was like, I don't have time for this right now. Because after that, I was
we know that trope.
This football game here. Yeah. So, but outside of that, it's been pretty good. I'm probably a chapter away from finishing it. When I looked online, I think I've only got one more chapter. I think there's only one boss in this game. I'm getting ready to meet him soon in this chapter. But it's like one of those Resident Evil things where I have to like face him, like timer. I got to face him like 4 times before I finally kill him, or like certain set areas. So there's only one main boss villain thing, from what I can tell, because I kind of looked ahead just to see how much time I got on it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man. It's not that bad. I think for like $39.99, it's a really good game. I think that would be the perfect price point. $39 or less. But I've enjoyed it. I don't think it's that long. It's probably like an 8-10 hour game. So
really,
I don't looked at the season pass, and people complained about it. Most of the season pass just seems to be new animation kills, mostly cosmetic type stuff for the amount of money they're selling. Nothing really new story wise. So, but yeah, that's it for me. Callisto Protocol this week.
Embarrassing Callisto Protocol.
Embarrassing Callisto Protocol. Because there are some parts in there where it takes a minute for me to get the hang of it. Now I got the hang of it in the combat part, because I think the only thing that doesn't do with I almost forgot to mention, the only thing it doesn't do with Dead Space, this game, they give you the ability to dodge. So if there's somebody who's going to swing to you right with their left, you can move over left and dodge it. You can move over right to dodge it, and you can move back to dodge it. So you can get into a rhythm where it's not timed. It's like you got to pay attention to the way they move their body. So I can dodge the first one, and then I start coming up to an enemy who'll do 2 swings, and just like that's bullshit. And then there's some enemies that do 3 swings. So I got to go like and then I can swing with my baton to do my melee. And then I have after you do the melee, after you do 2 melee hits in it, you can use your gun to do additional damage. Or you can just pull out the gun and start shooting them. But bullets are very scarce. It's not the Resident Evil of Dead Space games, but it's close. I noticed that I've gone through and upgraded my baton to like level 3 because I've used my baton mostly for melee, which works great on one-on-one situations. But when you're like 1 versus 3, which I'm at now, I kind of wish I upgraded the guns. But it is what
You
it is.
reminded me when I was the first time I was trying to play that boss on Psychonauts, when I was running out of the shooting things before I figured out the shield thing. I was like, "This is the Resident Evil of Psychonauts games." Yeah. If I had been streaming it, I would have said that out loud because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, how am I supposed to beat this shit? I run out of projectiles every fucking time. This is the Resident Evil of Psychonauts.
This game is. I don't know what this game would be. This is like the reverse of Resident Evil because I've literally been dropping ammo just to pick other shit up. Like, I guess I don't need this handgun ammo. I don't use it enough. I'm just dropping it down here. So I'm like, so I can just pick up my fucking decoder or my pristine converter. I'm like, what the fuck?
What was a Resident Evil of Gears? Was that 4 that we struggled with ammo every time? It was like always an ammo battle.
I think it was 4 or 3 or something like that. I can't remember which one it was.
It was one of the newer ones. It was either 4 or 5.
Yeah, it had to be 4. 5 wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that shit was everywhere, and you always had new weapons, almost like Breath of the Wild style. But Gears of War 4 is the Resident Evil of Gears.
All right, Brant, finish it up for us, buddy.
Didn't play a whole lot of anything. As per usual, Overwatch 2. They've got the Lunar New Year going on, so there's some things you can earn that revolve around that, and they've got a specific set of games you can play in arcade that revolve around those Lunar New Year unlocks. It's like some sprays. There's a souvenir, and then there's if you at least do 4 of those challenges, you get to unlock a specific skin for a character. The rest of the skins are, of course, monetized through the shop.
Is there a new mode like the Junkenstein thing, or the one that you were talking about, the Yeti challenge thing?
Well, they go by 2 different versions of Capture the Flag, which are usually, they kind of rotate in and out of the arcade regularly. There is a newer game mode that they call Bounty, and basically, it starts off 8 players in a arena, and the first person to start getting those kills gets a bounty, and then you're supposed to start killing those players that get the bounties in order to earn enough points, get your own bounty, and go up on the list. So that's it's not like the Junkenstein event, but it is kind of a new game mode kind of deal, just for that. But I think the first day it was out, I unlocked it in like under an hour or so. So,
Brent, you're just too good, man.
No, I'm not.
Brett said,
I'm not that great. I have my games.
Absolutely, me.
I have my
down there.
games,
We'll like get our.
I'm not like.
Yeah.
We'll get destroyed.
Yeah.
Like,
get my ass.
This game?
Brent's like, bring on Overwatch 3. Already beat this one.
Yeah. We're just like, why am I shooting bullets that heal people into my own teammates? I don't understand.
And the witch lady chasing me around with the purple shit the whole time. I'm like, I can't get away from this. You got me behind walls and shit. And what am I supposed to do? I'll just stand here.
Yeah. I'm sure Richard would be giving me a hard time. Like, look, Cessar, it's a perfect game for you. You can kill your own people and be positive.
It's the Double Dragon of team shooters.
Except they won't die. It actually heals them.
So, other than that, I did dip back into Game Pass xCloud.
Oh.
Just looked around and for some reason decided to start playing Jedi Fallen Order.
I want to give this another go on new gen consoles.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest playing this not xCloud.
You mean something that depends so heavily on parry? It doesn't work well on xCloud?
It works. It works all right.
Microsoft's just, they wrote up the check. They're like this.
It works all right.
Brand just got 10,000 more people fired.
No.
I was hoping we get $10,000, not 10,000 people fired.
And surprisingly, they all went from 343 again.
Oh no, they had nothing to do with your Overwatch or your Jedi experience on
Jedi
xCloud. Damn it, this backfired.
Damn it, Brent.
Sell all your HoloLens stock.
Like the army did.
But I've got, I got to the point where, at the very beginning of the game opens you up to where the main character, Cal, has been hiding on this scrapyard kind of thing where they decommission old ships and everything. And he's quickly found out has to escape. You wind up on this first planet where you're told you're basically supposed to find something here. Yeah. So you figure out what that piece is, and that leads you to a point where you have to actually decide 2 different planets to choose from and go and explore. And
that's where I got to. That's as far as I've gotten in my playthroughs.
Brant, send your savior.
Look that up.
So I'm on the planet, the Zepho homeworld is what I chose to go to. And of course you get there and there's a bunch of the Empire is already there. Oh. So you're fighting a bunch of stormtroopers and stuff, and you quickly find like more and more stormtroopers. Like there's constantly like the harder baton troopers. There's, all of a sudden there's ones that are lobbing RPGs at you and stuff. And I really, really, really want to hurt whoever, because I forgot all about this. But whoever the hell designed the sections where you slide on ice, fuck you.
Fuck you, ice physics master.
Oh my gosh, those areas where you have to like do the slide on the ice and then you have to jump to other platforms are the ones where you have to slide and aim just right because it's too far, but they put a rope there and you have to make sure you jump exactly in the right place of the rope or Cal just goes whoop and falls down in the hole.
Brent, let me sell you on the game. I don't want to take over too much, but there is 2 parts in Callisto Protocol that you have to go down a sewer alley, slide in the waters, and so many times I've landed and chopped my head off, Tomb Raider style, because they just put poles everywhere as you're sliding down. I'm just all over the place. And the second one, I just did a free fall in space, as they asked me to move in between these holes in the falling building, and then I just busted my head open on one constantly over and over. And then when I got to the end, it's like press X to grab the thing, and I press it, and I just fall over down and die and have to do the whole thing over again. I'm like, oh, okay.
But I got through.
You can enjoy that too when you play your embarrassing Callisto Protocol gameplay.
I got through, eventually got through those ice sliding sections, and I'm now at there's like a basically kind of like a Zelda-esque temple with some puzzle solving in there.
Oh, cool!
That you have to some orbs and different things that you've got to position and move to.
It's a Dooku tree there.
Pretty much.
Tree. That's the Star Wars
but
Zelda crossover we all wanted. the great Count Dooku tree.
Yeah. I forgot to say Count.
That's perfect.
Dooku tree.
That's beautiful. You better be writing that
down. Holy shit.
But I will say this: it's that they have where everything just goes to your cloud saves is so beautiful. To be able to immediately, pick up on the console or just pick up your controller and jump on your, iPad, tablet, computer, phone, whatever, and immediately just pick up exactly where you in seconds from where you left off. I mean, it's flawless, right? It's beautiful. It's just, again, activity, your internet strength, because it definitely ain't working on cellular networks super well. And that's really that's really all I've played. Although I will talk about something else because it is game related. I watched the first episode of The Last of Us on HBO.
Oh, how was that? I hear it's incredible.
Pretty damn good.
I hear it's incredible.
Pretty damn good. Because I've played the game so much, I feel some of the things lost, some of the just some of the actions and a lot of that impact wasn't there because I've played it several times now. Because I've played it so many times, there were a couple things I was like slightly nitpicky about, and I just kept having to go, no, shut up. It's, it's not the game. It's, they're adapting it. But overall, this is the most faithful game adaptation I've ever seen so far. I mean, they definitely took parts out of the script and have, the characters just redoing them, and it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah.
The other thing, the effects and the cinematography. Anybody that's very familiar with The Last of Us, if you remember that very beginning scene, and eventually when everything pops off, Joel, his brother Tommy, and his daughter Sarah are driving around Texas in their truck, in their like SUV kind of thing. And you as the character can shift your viewpoint. You can look out the back window, you can look at the front window, you can look at the side, and you see all this chaos. There's a farm on fire, there's a family that's stuck on the side of the road, and then eventually you get to a city where it's just chaos ensuing. And the way that they even do that in the show, they keep that cinematography.
Damn.
And they do it to where it makes you feel like you're in the car there with them, and it's done so well. I'm pretty excited to see this next episode. And yeah, for anybody that's a fan, go watch it. I'd highly recommend it.
That's great.
Very faithful.
I'm sure you guys saw it on Twitter. They were talking about like the UK sales of the Last of Us remake was up 280% after the first episode. They said that I think the PS4 version was up 360%.
That was the goal, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the synergy they wanted. I mean, people are like, you wonder why they wanted a remake? Here you go.
Not only that, they're gonna eventually put it on. Put it on PC
Those
pretty
numbers
soon.
will go crazy
I
too.
I didn't put it on in news, but I know Returnal's got a release date for PC. So
if anybody can run it,
yeah, I don't understand those specs.
Hey,
it was crazy.
Its specs are more, I would guess, better than the Forspoken specs.
Forspoken's pretty bad.
Yeah. See the specs for
Forspoken's pretty rough too.
Look up the specs.
Was it like 4090 or something?
For PC.
The new one, the new cards.
It's ridiculous.
I think the thing people are bitching about is the amount of RAM it uses to run these games is ridiculous. Like it's like 16, 32 gigs or something like that.
Right.
Most people don't have that, I mean, the graphics cards have always been ridiculous, but most people tend to keep up on that. But
oof. All right.
But that's it for me.
You guys got anything else you want to throw out there?
No.
Yeah,
Ready to go play some Halo.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this
Halo.
week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.